Well, I know Liverpool fans won't want to hear this, but there has to be a chance that he doesn't stay. So it's our job to look at potential replacements for Mohamed Salah. Now, before Diogo Jota came to the club, it was pretty much 3 from 3, and they kept them all fit and they were fine. Firmino, Mane, and Salah. Then they added Jota, so it was 3 from 4. Now they've added Luis Diaz, so it's 3 from 5, or pretty much 4 from 2, because you're not going to drop Mohamed Salah. Luis Diaz as a long-term replacement, would that work, or would they still need to sign somebody else if Salah was to go?
Well, when you think about it, it would depend on what Luis Diaz could do in terms of consistency of goals. Klopp talked about his performance on his debut, about being one of the best debuts that he's seen, coming into as a relatively big signing to a big club with the eyes on him, and was really sharp. But when you think about it, yes, Diogo Jota has been magnificent and has scored goals. Mane's had his ups and downs. Firmino's been out the side and did lose a bit of form for a period. When you think about the fact that they haven't got what you would call a natural 25 to 30 goals a season striker, apart from Mo Salah, who's not effectively a striker, then you have to replace those. They haven't got a Robbie Fowler of the old days. They haven't got an Ian Rush of the old days. They're a different team, but you still need to have that quota of goals. And so whoever comes in, if Salah does eventually go, and it's a big if, then you have to bring those goals because, yes, they can share them out, but they don't have a natural goal scorer like some of the other clubs. And we know City are doing it at the moment that way, and we know Liverpool have coped. But you take that amount of goals out aside, that's a big pressure on whoever comes in, all the other two within the side. So, it's not just replacing his performances. You have to basically replace those goals.
And that's the other thing, Craig. You'll know very well that normally when you replace a goal scorer, you're replacing a centre forward or someone that's playing in probably a more central area. He's playing on the right-hand side, yet as one of the best players, if not the best player in the world, scoring as many goals. So are we looking at a maverick here to potentially replace Mohamed Salah? Are we looking at a magician, someone who's maybe a big fish in a small pond right now, someone maybe like Rafinha?
I mean, obviously he's a player that's been talked about, but, I just don't think, I think we can go through a list of players, and I just don't think we're going to get one that's going to come in and have the same dynamic and give Liverpool the same dynamic that Salah gives them. You're right. He's, I think, off the cuff, although there is some structure to Liverpool's game, of course there is. But I think he does so many brilliant things off the cuff that he is a maverick. You could sit and watch him and pull your hair out at the amount of times the ball bobbles off him and he miscontrols it. And then, 30 seconds later, he's beat 3 guys and put it in the top corner. You just can't legislate for that. You know what I mean? It's not, you just don't know what's going to happen with this guy. And that's the beauty of it. That's the brilliance of it. And of course, he's got the end product to boot, which is the most important thing. So Rafinha's got a lovely left foot, but I don't envisage him coming in and doing the things that Mo Salah would do.
Another one that's been mentioned is Jared Bowen. Now, if I give you a blank bit of paper and said, Craig, any formation you want, put Jared Bowen in there, where are you putting him and what formation best suits him?
I think flexible. I could play him behind the striker. I think he's played as a false 9 when Antonio was out. Obviously, he likes coming in on that off the right on that left-hand side, but I've seen him scoring goals from the left-hand side, coming in at that back post. So he's flexible and he's a worker. And yeah, he's putting himself in the shot window for sure, along with several West Ham players, but particularly him and Declan Rice, who salvaged him recently against the mighty Kidderminster Harriers, saved him from embarrassment right at the death. So yeah, I mean, he's having a great season. I don't envisage him going to Liverpool, I have to be honest, but he's doing brilliantly at the moment. But there's him, and you mentioned Rafinha. Obviously there's a free transfer potentially in the summer from Barcelona. It's one of the names that's been shown up, and there's man Dembele, who's an extremely talented player, but has failed to deliver on a regular basis. He will demand big wages, which has been a stumbling block at Barca, whether he'll get the big wages, bearing in mind his lack of game time, his lack of consistency, his injuries. And I think more importantly, both from Dortmund, his time there, and his time at Barcelona, is his at times lack of discipline in terms of training and being late and all these sort of things. That could hamper somebody like Klopp at Liverpool, who is a stickler for be on the same page as us, or you're no good to us. So yeah, lots of talent out there, Mark. But if Salah does go, and as I say, I'm kind of hoping for Liverpool's sake that he doesn't, because it's going to throw up, it's going to open a hell of a can of worms. But there's a few out there that could bolster the squad. But as we've continually said here, there's really nobody at the moment that's going to come in and be a like for like replacement.
I just want to end this discussion about Mohamed Salah with, I'm going to chuck a grenade in. Why not? Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, right? So many people say, oh, Real Madrid bound, likely to move in the summer. Whether Liverpool get an idea by the summer if he will, Mohamed Salah, extend or if he won't, would either of those two players coming into Liverpool upset the formation that they play? Or given their ability, could you tweak it for them? And could they, given their ages, be replacements if Mohamed Salah, they get an idea that he might be going? Or could you even have Salah plus either Haaland or Mbappe?
No, to the last one, because I just don't think they could take the wage. The wage structure could take it. Those two players you mentioned are going to go for the most astronomical salaries and agents' fees that I think a club like Liverpool and its current climate just can't stomach that. So I don't think it's likely. I mean, they'll all try. They'll all be sniffing around, and why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? In terms of fitting in, both would fit in. Of course, they would. Mbappe wide. We saw it last night for those that watched the Champions League down that left-hand side. It's incredible at times. And of course, Erling Haaland is just an absolute animal, isn't he? I mean, he's going to score goals. He's going to work hard. He's going to give you the physical presence in the air, everything. But they're going to go to Spain. We know that. And yeah, City, Liverpool, and others. People with the clout, Man United, not a great side, we know, but have the clout, have the financial clout. They're all going to be sniffing. They're all going to be trying, maybe Chelsea. They're all going to be trying, particularly from England. But I think effectively it's the Spanish somehow will come up with the money to get that done, the Galacticos. And so I think the all other ones will be disappointed. I'm sure Jurgen Klopp will be thinking, well, maybe I can convince, Erling Haaland to come here, being the connection with Dortmund and all that. Yeah, that's great stuff. But I do feel these players have pretty much made their mind up where they're going. And Liverpool, if they are fishing, will have to fish somewhere else.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.